Missing last week's interview, we got 2 games to catch up on, Coach. A lot of coaches in Minnesota would love to be where you're at, 2-0, and pretty injury-free. So, yeah, knock on wood. So take us through the first week. That's always a scary one because you don't really know what your kids are going to do. You have a gut instinct of how they've practiced and how the scrimmage went, but right off the bat, we've got our rival in Byron, our next door neighbors, and walk us through that.
Yeah, big game. You're off the scrimmage, like you say, and then now looking back, the scrimmage, well, each one of the 3 teams have 2 wins, so you're very nervous about things. Well, they take advantage of things because they're all pretty good. And we're playing our arch rival Byron, and we had just played them at the end of the year, and the list goes on and on. So anything can happen in a rivalry game, as you know, because momentum is a big thing. And I just think our kids came out. I know we had a lot of young guys, inexperienced guys on defense, really stepped up in our offense.
Yeah.
We've got a great person running the under center there, changing plays to what's available and things. But I think what's important is in the lines also got to be able to make those changes mentally. And I thought so far in our first 2 games, our offense has really clicked that way, being able to do things. Byron exposed some things. They were very quick. It's hard to simulate that in practice. They were kind of firing in our gaps and stuff, and it's just going to make us better in the long run. And then on our game against Winona, our offense was just clicking on all cylinders. It was great watching our offensive line get off the ball and things, because again, then the opponent has a tough time simulating that. When you're under center, it hits so much quicker than when you're in shotgun and you have different types of blocking schemes and stuff. Like I said, it's very tough to simulate. Our defense, we had some mistakes and things. We were in more like a bend but don't break type of thing. They took it right down on us in the Winona game and drove it down the field on us. But we were able to get some stops and things. Hopefully we're able to overcome now and correct those mistakes we were making. On our special teams, I thought our kickoff team was much better in the second game. We kind of struggled in the first game, new kicker and stuff. And I thought Brendan Bonas has done great punting. He stepped in for us. He's averaged over 30 to 35 yards. He scooped up one, and then on a snap and things. So a lot of positive things, and hopefully we can build on those things.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll go section by section to get a little more detailed, but I thought one of the things that was fun to watch in the Winona game was, I think it was right after half, they had scored, and it was I think they kicked it, and I think it was your son, Brock, fielded it, and I think they were maybe trying an onside or to kick it off one of our guys, or else it was by accident, I don't know, but he fielded it, and we got the possession right around the 50-yard line, and it was inside veer left, inside veer right, inside veer left, inside veer right for a touchdown. It just kind of set the tone of, I think that just deflated Winona, and it just kind of was probably an awesome thing to watch. I can just visually watch you guys in film session saying this is how it's supposed to look, and it was a fullback give every time. They weren't closing, and Barwell really ran hard too. So the line looked like they had a great game from our perspective. So just talk about those guys with the experience you've got up front.
Well, the big thing I think is even, let's say in game 1, Brock Barwell, it's his first varsity experience there. Yeah. What's he get? They're running a different style of defense, 10 carries, maybe a dozen yards. Yeah, and then Matt Donovan kind of had a big game, and that's the beauty of the triple option, and the unselfishness is, well, they're going to try their hand at kind of trying to control Matt Donovan, and that's what opened it up for, like you say, for Brock Barwell, and all of a sudden he almost has 200 yards the next game, and that's what you have to be as a player. So, the next time he's playing in a game, he hopefully doesn't get frustrated if they're taking that away, because then sometimes you'll get them yanking the ball and stuff. That's where you run into problems. But the big thing on the old line that's really impressive is the communication, because most of the guys had already played at least a year
Yeah.
before on varsity, and they kind of talk to each other, and they've got their own lingo, and they almost can read each other's minds and be able to adjust, because we almost never see the defense we think we're gonna see.
Yeah.
And therefore, a really important thing is our quarterback being able to check to a different thing with the help of the line. I mean, they're communicating with each other basically to let him know, hey, we can't get that block and things.
Yeah.
And then probably our most demanding position actually on the offense is our wingbacks, because they gotta be able to block, they gotta be able to carry the ball, they gotta be able to run routes. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And just like now with Gavin Giesler catching balls in each game, what a deal that is, because teams were like cheating in the defensive backfield away from us, and he's become a receiving threat that we were hoping and stuff, and he's really come through there too. So it's all around on the whole offense. You can't have one part, and that's why, you know, a guy, even if I'm not getting the ball in this play, in the triple option, you really don't know who's gonna get the ball and stuff, and so I gotta go all out. And the thing is, even if I'm a receiver, because I'm setting up my pass routes also by doing that too. So it's the whole thing of unselfishness and going all out for your team.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, and you know, a lot of those things that you don't understand. You know, the Matt changing the play right at the line, and you know that means 11 or 10 other guys have to hear it, get the communication, readjust their route, their thought process, and then get off the ball and make a block. So, or a carry. So those are pretty awesome things. Talk about you know, the question marks going into the season with some of the young guys. You've had some sophomores and even maybe freshmen step up into some big time situations on varsity Friday nights, and tell us about some of those young kids that have done a nice job.
Well, I like on offense, we had most of the guys back that have played on the offensive line and stuff, and it was probably our wing position that we've had the least experience with and things. On defense, we had lost a lot of guys, and so you're just trying to find out if this guy's better at being back as almost a safety. Is this guy better at being a corner? Is kids' bodies change so much from 7th and 8th grade, and like our senior class, we got one guy playing the same spot he was down in 7th and 8th grade. And so you gotta make the things work based on different skill sets of different guys. Gee, should this guy be a defensive end? Should this guy be a defensive tackle? I really believe if they understand more than one spot anyway, they know why I have to do my job the way I do,
Right.
so that the next guy, etc., like a linebacker, then how he's gonna fill in. Yeah, we've had all kinds of guys step up, sophomores and things, especially in the defensive backfield and in our linebacker level for different reasons. And guys have responded again, like you were talking about. We've moved guys out to corner that have never been a defensive back before, and we've moved guys into being our common safety that have been inside backers, and you just try to project things out. And you play with a lot of those things. That's why when you go to a camp in the summertime and stuff, you try to, nothing's to the point where you have to be there or anything, but it sure is nice being able to play around with different spots with guys and see what their skill strength is and stuff. And again, what happens is when I know two spots, when one person goes down, let's say a second goes down at the same spot, I can move somebody in there and stuff and feel confident about it. But it helps this person too, because if they know that guy's got the inside, then obviously my area is on the outside. And that's a lot to take in when you're when you think about it, if you got guys that played at the ninth grade level, they're more, how do you say it? They're probably more memorizing what they just do, type of thing. I'm a pass coverage guy, whereas the corner now has also got to help us in the run in certain areas based on coverages. Coverages change. Are we gonna play 2 guys back deep? Are we gonna play 3? Are we gonna play 4? What are we trying to take away? A lot of things on there, and then the kids find out about how studying for the game and mentally preparing is such a huge deal.
Yeah, I've appreciated still being on huddle so I can watch some of that stuff, so. Well, we've got Mankato East coming to town this weekend on a Saturday night. We had to adjust games. Each team, kind of the reasons why we had to do that is each team was asked to move one game, at least one home game, to either a Thursday or a Saturday, and so this Saturday worked out, and there's gonna be games at the turf all day. We start out with JV girls soccer at 10 a.m., varsity girls soccer at noon, varsity boys soccer at 2, and then football at 6 o'clock versus Mankato East. So, Coach, good luck, keep them rolling, and we'll talk next week.
Thank you. Thanks for your support, everyone.